Hello everyone, this is Captain Logan, and I wanted to show everybody what I've been working on this week. I have been a little bit behind on videos this week because I've been working on a personal project all the way since, I think, Sunday I started working on this. I have been recataloging my entire comic book collection, and I thought some of you guys might enjoy seeing what I've been using and how I've been doing it. Occasionally I get questions from people, how do you catalog your comic collection, how do you keep everything together, what's the best program to use, what are the best websites, that sort of thing. And I've given some suggestions in the past of various things I've used. I want to say I've probably completely overhauled cataloging my comic collection 4 to 6 times total. When I was a kid, I did it just with basic spreadsheets, and as I got older, different things came out, and I tried out different things. A few years ago, I was using what was it? Comic Collector Live, which was a great program, and I really loved it. And it was somewhat similar to this. The difference is, the reason I quit using it is because they started charging yearly fees for that one, and I find that starts happening with some of these things. I don't think it will with this, and I'll explain in a minute why. But before that, I was using comicspriceguide.com, which was completely web-based, didn't have a desktop version, and it was also yearly fees, which I was paying for a while until I found Comic Collector Live. Part of the reason they did that, too, is because that particular one is more about keeping track of what comics are worth than anything, and that's information they have to update all the time, so I think that's part of why they charge yearly. Well, with this thing, like a lot of these programs these days, pretty much the only thing it doesn't keep track of is the value. And if you're real concerned about that, this may not be the program for you. Like I said, comicspriceguide.com is a really good one. It's just they used to charge, I think, $60 a year. I don't know what it is now. But this one is great if you're not too worried about that. And of course, you can get an Overstreet or something, and there is a section in here where you can fill that in. This is Collectorz.com, the comic collector. They have a lot of other programs for collecting different sorts of things, DVDs, books, etc. And it's a really intuitive program. It has a lot of features. It's really complex, and I'm going to show you a lot of it right now. The cost on it is $30, and if you use their trial run first, you get a $5 off coupon, so it's only $25. I just so everybody knows, they're not. I haven't contacted them. They're not paying me to say all this to talk about their program. But I think it's really fantastic, and I just wanted to preface that real quick because I think actually, believe it or not, the way I found it is their ads have been showing up on some of our monetized videos, and that's actually how I found out about them in the first place. So anyway, I just wanted to let folks know that I'm not being paid to say this. I think this is a fantastic program. I wanted to recommend it, and I wanted to show you why I think it's so fantastic. So first off, I wanted to show you the cover flow right away because I think that's one of the coolest things about it. You can see the covers of all of your comics. They're all the same size. It sizes everything automatically. So even if you're using a JPEG or a GIF or whatever that's not exactly this exact size, it's a little bit smaller. It'll stretch it, and of course that'll get a little bit pixelated if it's not a real great high quality image. But at least it all looks the same. Most of this stuff, you're going to find there's already a cover picture, and in fact, you may notice that with some of them, there's even they even show you the back cover, which is fun. I don't really know why you would necessarily want that, but I think that a lot of the point of this program is to try to put as much information in as possible, so that the only time you would even need to go to your long boxes or wherever you keep your comics is if you wanted to read the book. Everything else is here. So let's pop one of these open, and I'll show you what kind of information, what kind of fields they give you in the database, and what kinds of things are usually already populated when you download the information from the internet. So like I said, this is your cover flow, and then you can look at it. I'll show you this real quick. You can look at it straight in images like this, or you can even just look at a list. which just gives you the most basic information that you would want. And again, this is all stuff that would be really irritating to have to just type out yourself, so it's really nice that you can get it automatically populated like this. And also, I'm jumping all over the place, but this is something that I've not seen in a lot of programs before either, where it gives you the full title of the story of each issue, which is really cool. You don't usually get this, and I mean, I'm seeing it with nearly everything, so that's quite fantastic. So anyway, let's pop this open. Here is the cover, larger, and then let's see, let's just pick a random one. Double click here. I was clicking on the wrong spot. And okay, so as you can tell, a lot of tabs, a lot of information. I won't go over everything, but this will just give you a sense of what's here. You can toggle in your genres if you want to, and I'll show you in a second. Also, part of the point of putting things like that in is that there are graphs and charts where you can sort by pretty much everything. So anyway, you get your issue number, your series, your title of the story itself, release date, cover date. You can put in the month in years. When I'm doing this manually, I don't really see the point of putting both release and cover date, but you can put in the story arc if there's a big arc going on. Again, that's really helpful when you're sorting. Okay, so you go over to creators and characters, and this is where things get really cool. You'll find that not all of the books have all of this information in. Of course, this is put together by lots of different people, so and just whoever happens to be using the program. So sometimes you'll get all of the names of everybody who's in the book, and sometimes you won't. So how in-depth that is kind of up to whoever's putting these together. So of course, if it only gives you like the writer and the artist, and you want it all, the inker and the colorist and everything, or it gives you nothing, of course you can come in here and put those in yourself. And the way you do that is you just hit Add Creator, and then you put in whatever it is. You can put the editor in there. You can put layouts. I mean, it's really quite detailed. And then you can put in every character that's in the book. And again, that's really helpful for sorting. So if you wanted to find out just how many books you owned that had, say, Wilson Fisk in them, you could do that. And all you got to do is check and make sure that those things are already there if there's something you want to put in there. So then covers. This is one of the coolest features, I think. And this is, again, something I had not seen before with other desktop programs. You can put in any cover you want to, and of course, we'll look here in a little bit also at how you download information. But if it doesn't already have the cover in there for you, and sometimes it just won't, it'll be missing the cover, or if it's the wrong cover, if you accidentally downloaded a variant cover or one of the others, because different books have different covers, you can either browse, you can download it yourself, or take your own scan and browse and put that in. But something I've not ever seen before is find online, and this is extremely helpful, where instead of having to go out to like Internet Explorer or something and pull it yourself, this actually goes directly to a Google image search from inside the desktop program, and it uses whatever information is automatically in here, or if you want to put in other keywords to try to help find it, you can do that. So let's say we were putting in, we're not right now, this is Daredevil, but let's say we were trying to find Manos' Red Knight, and obviously that's a very, very independent book, and it's not going to be in the database yet. That was one, of course, I had to manually put together, and again, I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. So, but let's say, hey, I'm missing my cover, I need the cover, so I'm gonna say, Red Knight, Primal Paper, Issue 1, Cristelli, just whatever keywords will help you find it, a basic Google image search. There it is. And actually, there's I must not have put in the right keywords, because there is one that actually is closer to the actual size that it should be. But anyway, there it is, and so then you could hit Use Image, put it right in there, and hit OK, and you've got it. Fantastic. There's again, you can also put in the back cover if you want to. You can put in the preview art. That pops up whenever you're doing new books, and or if you're putting in like books that are coming out later, which you can do. So let's say you're dealing with like Batman right now, and Batman #6 just came out, but it'll give you like 6, 7, 8 maybe even 9, and it'll give you just the preview art of the cover, so it's just the cover art without all the information on it. That'll be in there, and then later on, you can add in, the real cover when it actually, comes up. So anyway, then personal information. This is all stuff you can fill in for yourself, of course, and one thing I think is kind of helpful. I don't know if I'm going to do this, but one thing I think would be helpful for some people, especially if they buy a whole lot of books at once, if you buy out a collection that you haven't read yet, is times read and whether or not you've read it. That's pretty helpful. That's a really organized way to keep track of all your stuff. If you've got several thousand books like I have, and you haven't read everything, that helps you keep track of what you have and of what you've read. So that's kind of cool. You can even, if you care to have this information, you can put it in the store that you that you got it from, the price that you paid, and if there are multiple people in your house that collect comics, you can even put in the owner. So anyway, and a lot of these have a plot synopsis, and of course you can add in your own. So right now, let's take a look at the statistics. So right now I've got this on just a basic graph, excuse me, of comics by writer, and so this shows what writers I have the most of, going all the way down to the least. And of course I have lots of other writers, but this is just the majority of them. You're the ones that I have the most of, going down to 43. And again, there could be some books in here where the writer is not filled in, so this may not be accurate. You have to go in and check everything and just make sure. Apparently my computer's performance is slow right now because I'm recording my desktop. So anyway, but hopefully this is working out okay. But anyway, so you can do graphs by anything, and I do mean anything. You can make flowcharts, you can make regular graphs, and then virtually anything you want to know. Genre. So look, I have a lot of superhero. Imagine that. You can do it by publisher. And I have a lot more Marvel than I do DC, believe it or not. I keep buying out collections that have a lot more Marvel in them, and keeping a lot of that. And then, so yeah, story arc, crossover. That's kind of interesting. This is Brightest Day. And then even personal stuff. Okay, let me show you real quick. And then stuff by creators, writer, penciler, etc. Okay, let me show you the loan section. This is kind of cool. So let's say I wanted to loan out Daredevil number 282 to somebody. And people always say don't loan out your books because you'll never get them back. But if you want to use your collection like a library, you can do that. And there's actually a whole tab for it, which I thought was kind of neat. So you hit loan comic. And you say, I'm loaning it to this person, here's their email, so I can bother them if they don't get it back to me on time. And then you say, I'm going to give it to you this date, and I want it back by this date. And then it'll help you keep track of where your comics are if you're loaning them to people. That's extremely, extremely helpful. Okay, in just a second, we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and show you how to actually download information. But first, what I'd like to do is... let's see. Let's look at the search features. So you just go in, and that'll just show you everything that's Ghostbusters. But you can do it by title, or of course you can do it by anything. So let's say I wanted to go Eric Burnham. It's going to be pretty much the same set. Oh, except I spelled it wrong. So again, there's everything by Eric Burnham. But again, you'll notice that oh no, actually I got it fixed that time. I was doing this earlier, and it was one of these. It wasn't showing up because his name wasn't filled in, but I guess I fixed it. So anyway, you can do that. You could go Marvel, look at every Marvel book. That's pretty super awesome. Okay, check this out because I thought it was also really neat. Okay, Watchmen. Yeah, this program will keep track of comic book reference also. That's something I've never seen before. Now, not everything is in the database, so some of these things I had to add manually, which is not a big deal, but you don't get... It takes longer, and you have to fill in all the information yourself. But these two things were already in the database, which I was really surprised by. Pretty much, it looks like anything from like 05 or 06 on is in there. Any major stuff. So like DC Comics year by year, stuff like that is in here. Let's see. That's not what it was called. I may not be able to find it right away, but whatever. Yeah, that would take forever to go look for it. But anyway, but yeah, all my comic references in here and stuff. Let's see. Not being very impressive right now because things I'm typing in are not coming up automatically, but I'm probably just not thinking of the right names of things. But like I said, anyway, it's kind of neat that all that stuff is in there, and even novels. Some of them are in the database, which is really neat. Let's see, Death and Life, Superman. Yeah, check that out. So that book is in there, and that one was already in the database. That's from '93. Because look, there's the back cover. So anyway, okay. So if you wanted to go in and download stuff, it's gonna open up with whatever the last thing is that you looked at. But let's say we wanted to put in some Batman Volume 1. So you search, and by the way, for anybody who's wanting to download this, just so you know, a lot of times it'll look like it's taking forever, and you can just hit stop search, hit search again, and then it'll come up faster. It's a little weird nuance. But anyway, okay, so here's everything Batman. Of course, there's tons and tons of Batman. But let's say that we're wanting to fill in all of our Batman Volume 1. You'll notice that anything in blue that I have here is stuff that I've already put some books in from. So anyway, here's Batman Volume 1. You click the plus sign. Now this is the part that takes a while because it's thinking, it's bringing up all of this information, and sometimes it takes a couple minutes, and that can be irritating. The time that it takes for it to pull up information from online is the only irritating thing about this. So anyway, I've got 436 here. Let's say that I wanted to get some of the things around it. I'm not going to do this because I don't have these, but you'd just hit the check mark, and then you'd hit add selected, and once you're finished with everything and you hit that X, it all shows up in your database. But let's say that I'm not sure if this is the 435 I have, or if I'm not sure it's the right volume, etc., or better yet, let's say 416, and then there's a second print. I'm not sure which one is which. So you hit this, and then that shows you what the cover looks like. And you can go, oh yeah, that's the cover I have, cool, and then you toggle it, and then you hit add selected. So anyway, really simple, that's how it works. You can also keep track of your new and upcoming releases, so you can do all series. This is cool, this is like previews, this lets you know everything coming out, or everything that just came out. Let's say you wanted to make sure that you knew what was coming out in just the series that you already have, and you hit only my series, and this is showing me everything that's going currently that I have any issues of. Highly, highly useful. Helps you keep track of stuff so that you never lose anything, and then even just the publishers I use. I don't find that as useful, but this especially is really, really cool. So anyway, that's how all of that works, and then if you wanted to put in something manually, you just click this manual button, and you type in everything yourself. So we looked at this earlier. So you got your series, your title, and then that's again go to find online, get your cover, just put in whatever that is. That's the basics. That's pretty much how the program works. So like I said, it's collectorz.com. It's a $30 program. It's $25 if you try out their trial first. And if you're not sure about it, even looking at what I just showed you, do try the trial. They don't harass you or anything. You can just download their trial, and it lets you put in up to 100 comics. And if you don't have a lot of comics, but you still kind of want to play around with this a little bit, you can always just use the trial one up until you have your 100 comics logged. And it's kind of fun to play around with, and so then if you play with it and you really like it like I do, and I just find this extremely useful with as many books as I have, to be able to look at all this information and to not have to go into my lawn boxes to find stuff. Oh look, more novels. See, this is really cool. I've got all my novels logged in here too now, which is super fantastic. So anyway, that's how it works. If anybody has any questions about this, I've been playing with it all week long and logging my whole collection in. Be sure to send me a personal message. And thanks a lot for watching. I'm Captain Logan, and see you in our next videos.